Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for January 12th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair we have a close lower during this past session, is moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 77.29, possibly as low as 76.54. Look for some resistance around 77.23 and look for some support around 76.41. Now the Euro-USD pair, this pair closed higher, is moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 129.59, possibly as low as 126.08. Look for some resistance around 128.50 and look for some support around 126.95. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed up but just by 1 or 2 pips, looking for it to move to the downside. Potentially, though, going as high on a reversal up to 154.31, possibly as low as 152.01. Look for some resistance around 153.75 and look for some support around 152.75. Now the US Swiss, this pair pulled to the downside, is retracing. We are looking for it to potentially, though, go as high as 0.9616. possibly as low as 0.9319. Look for some resistance around 0.9535 and look for some support around 0.9405. Now, as far as news announcements go, we have here we go. We have a news announcement being released at 9:55 a.m. Eastern Time. The U.S. University of Michigan's confidence report for January. Consensus on that is that it has moved higher from 69.9 up to 71.5, which would be good news for the US dollar. Now, as far as trades going into this next session, if you drop down to the 4-hour time frame in the pound, maybe not zoom out quite that much. If you can see here, we've had somewhat of a diamond shape that has been created, diamond pattern. If it comes down, creates a diamond pattern, you're looking for it to move to the downside. So this would definitely be a bearish indicator here that we could be moving lower. Now, to put that in perspective, this is the 4-hour time frame, so we're looking for it to break to the downside. To put that in perspective, let's go to the weekly chart and zoom out a little bit. May have been a little too much. Here we go. As you can see, we've come down to this area once, twice, 3 times, and now a 4th time. So on the 4-hour time frame, we're definitely getting signals for a breakout to the downside, which is great because it is backed up by our weekly area of support. Now, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either it's going to break through this 152.58 area and continue lower, I believe, down to 5,000, or it's going to reverse. The nice thing about this setup is between the two, we got about 250 pips there. If you go to the 4-hour time frame and take a look at the stop loss that we can use on this, you know, your stop loss would be placed right here above this high, most likely. So as far as a risk to reward, you have a great risk to reward due to having the setup on the 4-hour, but yet having pulled some of the areas that we think it's going to run into support, future support, off of the week time frame. Got 50 pips there or so, down to almost 295, depending on where you get into this trade. If you get into at this 4-hour low, it'll be a little less than that, about 15 pips there, and then come on down. So the fact that we have a pattern that is saying we should go short, we have about 110 pip stop loss, but looking to grab 250. Great setup. I hope that helps, and until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.